who knows what happens out there, but like it'd be nice to do under 20 hours so I could be back, for the next day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What are you doing on your bike so early?
Got a big plan today. Call it the Glacier Loop. After 315k.
What are you doing that big loop for?
It's my last big push for this coming weekend, which is the BUCKSHOT 2024 430k bikepacking race. Something I want to give a crack, so I want to respect the process.
That sounds cool. Have a good ride.
Thank you.
What motivates you to do a similar challenge as the JB Duro?
Well, it's funny, because when I finished that GB Duro, I kind of said never again. I wasn't keen on doing an ultra thing. I thought that stuff was for maniacs, and I still kind of think it is, but as time's gone by, you start to realize how much that's still a big part of you. Big days on the road, and the challenge of like an ultra style event it's pretty exciting. It's the preparation, it's the visualization of just being out there all day and knowing that like you can blow up at any moment. And for me, it's a lot of the unknown, like stuff that I've never experienced before. Riding 420k, 6,000 meters. I've done lots of long rides trying to go fast as a road cyclist racer, but nothing of that nature, in under a day on hard terrain, mixed gravel, rocky, trail, everything's kind of thrown at you. So it's going to be a massive day, and to answer the question, GB Duro kind of turned me off of it. I just retired, and I think it kind of kicked my ass in a way that I didn't really understand at the time. I was dealing with a lot of other things, the retirement from the sport, and I was still searching for something. And now I find myself drawn back because this is kind of what I do for fun. This kind of riding, obviously not at that level, but this kind of stuff really gets my motor going. So it's kind of sucked me back in.
The preparation you did from the JB Duro, is there something you're doing similar again?
Well, the biggest thing I learned, first of all, I started working with a friend that is a coach, and really sharing a lot of ideas and learning a lot of things from him in the respect to, doing just simple testing like a metabolic cart, understanding where your fat and carb crossover point is, and then understanding the point at where you're most efficient at burning fat, where you're utilizing most fat as fuel. And as soon as you start to understand that number, you start to go, and when you train in that zone, you realize, I can actually go all day because you have so much fat as fuel, as storage. And I realized that it's so much different than what I thought when I did my first ultra event, because in those days I was still under the impression of just going fast. And ultimately, you want to go fast, but the trick is being able to maintain it the entire time, and riding in that fat max zone really allows you to stay stable all day long rather than blowing up, refeeding, blowing up and refeeding, overheating, cooling down. I was hard on myself, and now I think I have another understanding. I'm not saying that I have it all figured out, that's for sure, because again, I'm quite new to this experience, so it's going to be a day out, but I'll be learning lots out there.
So the race is tomorrow. How do you feel?
Well, it's hard to know, going into the unknown with type of a race. 420K, 6,000 meters of climbing. Yeah, you just don't know until you get out there. That's what I'm excited about, is just going into the unknown.
Of the level you've raced at, how does it affect your preparation for a race like the BUCKSHOT?
It doesn't really change a lot. I still am who I am, and a lot of racing always, for me, was about racing against myself, and that's really what this is. It's yeah, like even when I first started racing the World Tour, I didn't know who was who, didn't really care. It was more about the challenge that was ahead of me. So it's the same, it hasn't really changed. I take challenges really 100% full on. It doesn't change for me.
What are your expectations for today?
Well, it's all new to me, so just having a good day out, really. That's all I want.
Have fun, eh? Now that you've had time to process the event, the BUCKSHOT, what are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, so many things. It was such a special day, just for me to be like lining up on a race, a ride, or whatever, an event. I didn't really think I'd be doing that again in my life, and I had such a great day out that that day threw everything at you. Sun, snow, rain, wind, crazy, beautiful route, just an incredible route, and it really hooked me. It really got me going. Like, I came home and I was just like, wow, this has to be the coolest format of racing that I've ever come across. And I think one thing that stood out for me is you finish in downtown Kamloops and it's like 12 o'clock at night or whatever, and there's just no one there, and it's like you're kind of out in the parking lot, and you get off the bike and you realize how buggered you are, and it's just you. And I think that's kind of what epitomizes it for me. The whole day is just that. You're just out there on this big mission. And it's really just you, like, yeah, okay, you could call it a race or whatever, but it's like, it's really just you kind of pushing your limits, your boundaries, and learning a bunch along the way. So, yeah, I fell in love with it. I really did.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah, it's a good question why I'm doing it. I'm 47 years old. I've been racing and kind of pushing myself for a big chunk of my life, and I thought, again, when I would retire, that I would probably just slow down just automatically, just thinking that was how life was going to be. But it's hard to deny that that's still a big part of who I am, and the things that I get satisfaction out of. So yeah, like for the longest time I was like kind of pushing it away, and then I get to this point now where I just think, like, if you can do it, you should still do it. And I think it's important in life to not write things off just because it's kind of societal. Like, people have these kind of things like, oh, you slow down here, you shouldn't be pushing yourself there, or whatever. And I think that's a mistake to go through life like that. Like, life's pretty short, and you have to do stuff that you love. So yeah, that's kind of part of, I would say that's the number reason
number one reason why I'm doing something like this.